becoming more of a common towards in all fields, we can say. So even communications is not untouched. Even that is going to make a great impact. Um, so whether we are talking about machine learning or we are talking about the communication parts, maybe the user might be finding it difficult in order to bring these two under one umbrella. But the first and foremost thing is that if you want to implement any machine learning or artificial intelligence algorithms onto the communication concepts or the communication system design, first thing is let's become more clear or more confident about some of the concepts in the communication system. So let's briefly go through the MATLAB, how we can use MATLAB software to develop communication applications. So I have not intendedly kept anything about the machine learning or the artificial intelligence part here. Okay, so we will dig more of the communication concepts using the MATLAB there. Um, this is what I have just put it as a humor point here, but this is true in fact. Okay, so whatever the industry is practicing, it's far more ahead of us than the academia, and which was very different in the very past era there, wherein all the research that happened in the academia was just pumped into the industry there. But now it's a reverse case, and for us to match up with the industry standards, it's really going to be a Hercules task for us. How MATLAB simulations, how you can use your MATLAB software in order to develop an end-to-end solution and check for its implementation there. Instead, directly going for the actual implementation and then suffering with a lot of financial hardships. I will just tell about myself something here. So I have completed my BE in EC in the year 2000 from Puji Dodappa Appa College, Gulbarga, Karnataka. And I have completed my MTech in Communication System from the same college in 2006. And I have recently submitted my thesis on video quality assessment in wireless networks. And in our campus, we have worked on FM-based street light control system, and we did that throughout from the idea up to the implementation stage. And I'm a bit traveler, and I like listening music, and I try a little bit writing poems also. So my motto would be the best, do the best of your capability and live moment to moment. So I'll keep my agenda brief as you all are tired, and anything, definitely we have this another 4 days available for us. We will definitely communicate with each other. So let's see about what this MATLAB can offer. I think I definitely know that many of you would be using MATLAB for your most of the PhD work or for the academia purpose there. And we'll see what's MATLAB support for communication system design, and how we can do what levels of communication system design does MATLAB support there, and some of the MATLAB communication system design examples, and then we will also see a kind of hardware support for communications. Okay, so as we all know that MATLAB is a ocean there. Okay, so even if you come to communication, it's still a small ocean, I can say, but still we have to give our hands, and we have to make ourselves dirty there. Okay, so this is what is again a very much paradox that is existing now then, and it still will exist forever. That is what the industry asks, is what is the skill that you are imparting to your students there. So this is always a problem. So if at all you are going to try with one of the best softwares, maybe it is MATLAB or Octave or LabVIEW, so go thoroughly through it. Okay, so make sure that you know all the things, you know all the fundamentals of the subject, the concepts, and how to use one at least particular software. So it's better that you go deep dive into one of the software. I'm not saying go for MATLAB itself. I think many of you are aware of Octave, Scilab. There are numerous softwares that are available there. You can, nowadays more people are developing Python based codes also for communication system design. That that is what is more catching up now. So this we can say that this is what also the entire focus of NEP 2020 there. That is National Education Policy, that merely says that the whole document, if you read, the only thing that becomes very clear is that it's telling about the skills there. Okay, so if at all for our students and for ourselves, we are equipped with one tool, at least one tool going deep into it, both vertically and horizontally, breadth and depth, if you are going to cover it, then definitely that's a plus point for us as well as the students that we are ought to teach them. So if you take the MATLAB or any other software there, we are going to see that it will support all these things, that is simulations, experimental demos. So we are going to check out what the theory concepts, okay, so what applications are supported there, and also check for the concepts underlying that particular subject there. So the MATLAB is an overall package, so it will support end-to-end simulations there. We can do a lot of value addition. We can also get the C code from the MATLAB once we do it. And if you want to go for the hardware implementation directly, then we can also have the support for the FPGA implementation or the VLSI chip implementation. So this MATLAB is not only in a programmatic way there, you can also use the Simulink mode. I think with the communication system, Simulink way of designing the communication system is more popular there. So now, as we all know that as we move from theory to practice there, as MATLAB being just a simulation tool there, okay, we will not be able to achieve any real-time goals here, but yet, okay, so nowadays in every industry you see that simulations are preferred there, okay, so because they cut down your investments and they save you a lot of time there, and you will also come to know what different things you have to combine, what complications, what complex level of understanding is required there in order to develop a solution there. So if at all we do the simulations, that's what can simulations offer. So simulations will give us powerful reinforcements and supplements for theory, building highly effective motivational and practical case studies, excellent tools for zones where theory fears to tread, and safe and effective substitute for experiments, opportunities for innovation and testing. Let me tell you, this is more apt for the communication system design there. If you are talking about satellite design, if you are talking about RF design, if you are talking about phased array design, if you are talking about WLAN, so for all these, the real equipment would really cost a bomb there. So it's a good way to simulate your results, to check your concepts there, so that it's at least closer to the reality there. So this is what we always juggle between, that is what the theory says and what we have to get for the applications there. And we need to definitely have our ideas, implement our perspectives and concepts. Just now the previous speaker was very clear, and he was telling that think differently. So that's what your ideas matter a lot there. Okay, so the best position seems to be for the academician as first to go with the simulation level there. So if we are going to use MathWorks product like in MATLAB or the Simulink there, so as we all know that though it is about communication system, more of our communication system is mostly bent towards the wireless side there. So all the applications, almost all of the applications have been saturated and they have been converted into wireless form of communication, and optical being one other major choice there. But other than that, it's the wireless, it's the end connectivity or the premise connectivity definitely is the wireless connectivity. So my focus will be mostly onto the wireless applications that MATLAB supports there. So successful wireless engineering teams recognize that they need a software environment that encompasses algorithm, design, system simulation, over-the-air testing, prototyping, and implementation. So if I have to find all this in one platform, you can go for the softwares like MATLAB or Octave or the Scilab. So component integration and simulation during early stages of R&D is required. Modeling and testing approaches to ensure that compliance with standards at each design stage is required. Software to exploit popular SDR hardware for over-the-air testing and prototyping, and model-based design as a way to shrink design cycles. So if you fall into any of these categories there, it's an apt time you start with your one of the software tools.
Archana?
Josna, tell me.
Slides are not moving here.
Oh God, that's what I didn't keep in slide mode. Pradeep sir made it into slide mode. From where onwards?
Yeah.
From where onwards?
First slide only.
It
Up
was
and
in the
up.
first slide only here.
First slide only. Oh God.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what
Just
I
move.
kept in this mode only. Okay.
Okay.
Definitely
Okay.
we'll be sharing with them. No, not a problem. Not,
Okay, now it's showing. Okay, third
yeah,
slide. Yeah, it's
not
moving
in
now.
this one now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was what we discussed, like how MATLAB is a full complete package for you all to do all your experiments there. Okay. So how simulations will help us to just make our concepts work at the early stages there. Okay. So this is how I said that, like theory is at one end and then applications of the other end. So a center point where we meet is like using the simulation softwares and see that our concepts are implementable. And then I was just talking about how software like MATLAB or Scilab and Octave will help us to get for component integration and simulation during early stages, modeling and testing approaches to ensure compliance with standards at each stage, software to exploit popular software-defined radio hardware for over-the-air testing and prototyping, and model-based design as a way to shrink design cycles there. So as I said, you can opt any of the 4 choices and see that you are able to get your task done there. So this is the overall way how MATLAB supports communication system design concepts there. And let me tell you that if you are talking about communication system design, so and if you are taking the perspective of a 7-layer or a 5-layer design, that is our physical layer, data link layer, the network layer, transport layer, and the application layer. So with MATLAB, you can mostly explore your physical layer concepts there, and to some extent to the data link layer. But people who are looking for protocol development strategies, scheduling strategies, and working at the application layer and higher layers there, for them the suitable software would be some other. Like in most of you might have heard about NS2, and then there is NS3, and there is a NetSim software from TEDCOS Bangalore. We have a session after 2 days there. Tomorrow at the same time, and day after tomorrow, you will be having the session from the MathWorks speakers itself there. So if at all you are dealing with the conceptual level at the physical layer and at the Mac layer, then MATLAB is a good choice there. But people who are talking about protocol development, talking about infrastructure development, for them this is not the suggested tool there. Okay, so it supports mobile and connectivity standards. It supports unified design and simulation, and then prototyping and testing there. So as we all know that there is no area, sorry, that is left out without any communication connectivity, and definitely the IoT and more of IoT we will see there, and it is estimated that Per person, at least he will be connecting mostly using 10 to 15 objects per person. You can just think about the kind of connectivity issues or the complexity we will have to deal with. Okay, so the trend is towards more of connectivity there, and because of online, and the one best thing that happened, the pandemic completely, it's a bad there, but the one good thing that has happened to everybody is that we could learn more because of the pandemic there, we could connect more there. Okay, so that is also we can say that the connectivity is involved there. So you can see that there is an automotive, there is medical, there is industrial, there is smart home, there is smart city. There's no one area untouched where we don't find a connectivity requirements of the connectivity issues coming there. So definitely people who are into the communication system, they have a lot of fight overhead there. So these are the standards that are supported by MATLAB. The Bluetooth, LTE, that is 4G, LTE Advanced, WiMAX, some proprietary transceivers, DVB, ADSL, and all the Wi-Fi 802.11 compliant standards there. So you can mostly see that when you are using these toolboxes or these facilities from the MATLAB software there, mostly it has to do with the adhering to the standard compliancy there. Okay, so we are just checking that what the waveforms that we are generating and we are transmitting, are they compliant with these standards there, if you are trying to use one of them there. So what is that we are looking for? As even the previous speaker and all were talking about, we are really worried, or we are really into seeing that where are the research opportunities there? What is that the each and every cellular standard 4G, 5G, 6G, it's a never-ending route there. What is that the users are looking for? What are the research areas open for us there? Okay, so this is what is happening there: 4K, 8K, 360-degree video, virtual reality, remote surgery, Internet of Things, connected vehicles. So you just choose your area there. Okay, so ultra broadband, low latency, these are the requirements. Massive device connectivity, that's what I said, that per person 15 to 10 to 15 objects connectivity with the IP value is really going to be a very hard issue there, and low energy and cost there. And then solutions we are checking in terms of more bands, increased bandwidth, better spectral efficiency, flexible air interface, and densification. So it's like we have to zero down onto the particular area where we want to give our solution. So as all communication peoples, we are all aware of this particular digital communication block diagram, which is the first thing we do when we go to our classes there. And this is what it encompasses, even if you are going to develop anything there. Okay, so if you are talking about 4G, 5G, 6G, or I'm talking about Bluetooth, or I'm talking about WiMAX, Zigbee, any of these you take there, definitely we are playing with one of the modules of this one. Okay, or it's a combination of these there. So we will see how at each of the stages of the communication transmitter side, that is your source encoder, encryption, channel coding, multiplexing, modulation, RF stage there, and then multiplexing, and again the reverse stages that are present in the receiver side there. And of course we do not forget about the channel there, which is the culprit in all of the communication system, and more of wireless due to its unreliable nature there, we need to take care of so many aspects there. Okay, so how MATLAB provides all the facilities at each of these stages and helps us in building the communication system that we intend to design there. Now, as we have seen this schematic block diagram, you could see the same abstract level support from the MATLAB there. This is the baseband side there. The most of the inputs or the device, end user devices being digital. So baseband side is what we need to work there. And then coming to the RF front there, RF front is definitely a little hard to deal with, at least in terms of simulations there. But it's still MATLAB supports at the range of 2.4 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz. It supports the RF front-end design also. And what are the outputs, what are the performance metrics that a communication system uses in order to compare your system with the existing system, or say that you have got a higher upper hand at whatever you are designing there. So be it your measurements in terms of bit error rate, in terms of constellation diagram, in terms of eye diagrams. So these are the things that you have to use in order to support your ideation, or in order to support your results there. So overall, I don't have a slide for that, but one thing I would like to say is that any communication design, any concept that you are designing, so definitely it involves mostly the 10 parts there. Okay, so you need to think about the modulator and the demodulator part, and mostly the modulator and demodulator being digital. So you have a choice of ASK, FSK, QPSK, QAM, all these are there. And in case few people would like to also work on to the continuous modulation, so you have support for AM, FM modulation also. And the newly upcoming modulation, that is the index modulation, is also supported. And then the next thing is the transmitter and the receiver is connected via your channel part there. So the MATLAB will support you in order to take into account, because I cannot take an ideal channel and say that my results are superior there. So in case you want to have a very practical channel there, so MATLAB supports you to design with the very basic AWGN channel, that is your additive white Gaussian noise channel, or if we take more of a rough sketch and a very hilly region to prototype that one, or to simulate that environment, so you can go for Raysian, Rayleigh, and exponential chi-square. So all these channel propagation models are supported by MATLAB there. And then the other thing is whether you are transmitting your signal, baseband signal, and then modulated and then RF converted, are you going to use your coding, that is with error detection and correction techniques, or without that one? It's your choice there. And also just the thing is, MATLAB supports your error detection and control coding. Those are all LDPC codes, Viterbi codes, convolutional codes, all are supported there. And these are the things definitely one has to deal with. And the other things would be how are you going to measure your performance metrics of your system that you have designed them. So on that level, you have your tools like bit error rate, you have your constellation diagrams, which will tell you how much noise has affected your symbol there. And you can use your eye diagram. We know that ISI, that is inter-symbol interference, is the most important, or is the most difficult problem that any of the communication engineer faces there. And you have your solution in terms of using a filter, like in a raised cosine filter, or you can also go for equalization techniques there. Okay, so it's the bit error rate, it's the constellation diagrams, it's the eye diagram, and then most of the time I would like to show the spectrum there. So definitely you'll be using your FFT kind of algorithms there. And as I told you that if you are talking about doing something onto the standard compliant wireless communication systems, or any standard communication system like in LTE, WLAN, Bluetooth, Zigbee, or 5G there, MATLAB supports that one. Okay, so you will be mostly checking whether the transmitted waveforms of yours are compliant with the standard waveforms or not, in terms of your power ratings, frequency, side lobes, major lobe content, all those things there. So so that is what, as I showed you in the figure, now I have just written in terms of some words here. That is, you want to support an end-to-end simulation then. So you need to have assess how design choices affect system performance, confirm that the system complies with the standard. So this is what you can do in this case there. Sometimes your intention would be like golden reference for design verification. This is what you want to do here. So verify that the design works as it should be. Or standard compliant signal generation is what you are intending to work on. Then test the design with synthetic or live over the air signals there. And then signal detection, analysis and information retrieval. This could be your area. Then go for decode real world signals, validate receiver design there. Okay. And again, I will repeat, the tools would be in terms of bit error rate, the constellation diagram, the spectrum, the eye diagrams, and in terms of equalizations. So these are the different toolboxes the MATLAB supports. They classify each of the similar category related commands as toolbox there, and hence communication system is one such connected, all connected commands are put as one toolbox there. So MATLAB and Simulink are the two different ways you can work on for the newcomers, those who are yet newcomers to the MATLAB there. So if at all your way of programming is in terms of command language, so you can go ahead with MATLAB there. But most of the communication system design is done in terms of model design, that is a Simulink. This is more towards the real world situation there. So MATLAB, whereas Simulink definitely works on MATLAB as the basis there. Without MATLAB, the Simulink cannot work there. But Simulink is a completely model-based design methodology. So you have a unified communication design platform for baseband. You want to do any work on the baseband side, RF side, and the antenna modeling and simulation. So you have phased array system toolbox, LTE system toolbox, WLAN system toolbox, RF toolbox, and then in terms of Simulink model, you call it as the RF block set. As antenna phased array antenna system toolbox works in conjunction with antenna toolbox there. Okay, and then you can use Simulink, that is DSP system toolbox. Even most when we are talking about baseband concept realization, so mostly we need to be very much closer with the signal processing toolbox also. So we have to know most of the concepts of the signal processing, because most of the baseband design is nothing but 80% of the baseband design is nothing but your filter design and all such sorts of design there. So definitely it is more of a signal processing there. So that is the delicate thing with the communication system toolbox, that just you knowing the concepts of communication system design is just not enough there. A lot of signal processing and antenna design, all these at least you should have some knowledge of it there. Okay. So as I told you, it also supports hardware and software developers, and you have full end-to-end simulation support here. So you can design on the baseband side, and then use your any of these generate a C code or an HDL code, or directly download it or send it to the SDR platform there. It supports in many industry standard SDR radios there. And you can also go for implementation onto the actual chip there. So I have just picked up based upon how you move into the communication system design, that basically move from the baseband, the RF and the baseband, the passband modulation, and to the RF, and then you have the support for the channel modeling. Already I said you that because the channel being the wireless over the air transmission there, so definitely we will have all the noise, the interference, so many distortions are being suffered by the signal there. So what kind of channel modeling you want to bring into your design there? So I said you like choices you have is AWGN channel, you have the choice of your Risian channel, Relic channel. Okay, so it depends upon how much of the errors you want to embed in your programming there, and how much realistic simulations you want to perform there. So if you take channel modeling support, So wireless receivers need to mitigate impairments and propagation losses introduced by channel conditions. So we have, if you go for MATLAB, many of you have there, you know that how extended the help is there. So the documentation, the help is, yeah, you just can explore by yourself. You don't require anybody's help then. Okay. So in terms of channel modeling, you can just go and check for some of the demos, like in planning a 5G fixed wireless access link over terrain, visualize antenna coverage map and communication links, simultaneous simulation of multiple fading channels with winner 2 channel model there. So you have many lined up there. Whenever you have time, you can check up with all these simulations or demos there. So coming towards the support for the antenna system design, antenna side design there. So the MATLAB has a complete full-fledged toolbox, and it also supports some app designers there. So the people who are new to the communication system design, they cannot write even a MATLAB program or a Simulink model at first. Definitely becomes difficult to start with. So you all can explore with the apps there. Okay. So you have some designer apps ready-madely present there. You can just give your specifications there and it will design for you. More you practice with it, you will come to know what are the different settings, specification settings you need to do there, and then you can go ahead with writing your own scripts there. So with antenna design, using a antenna toolbox, so design is easy and natural. Library of parameterized antenna elements, functionality for design of antenna arrays, CAD description streamlined, rapid simulation setup, full methods for moment solver employed for ports, fields, and surface analysis. No need to be an EM expert, and seamless integration is possible. Model the antenna together with signal processing algorithms, and rapid iteration of different antenna scenarios for radar and communication system design is possible there. Okay. So definitely it's not possible for one person even to be very good deep into having the knowledge of both the baseband side, the channel modeling side, the antenna side. So it could be a collaborative effort, and people who are more expert with the antenna design, they can help with these concepts there. But even as I said you, like just one person who wants to develop a full-fledged communication system design, MATLAB will support it. Okay, so you can just use all the app designers that are provided in each of the categories, yeah, and see that how the results are coming out. So over the antenna system design, there is a one more add-on toolbox, that is your phased array system toolbox. So that will enhance more of the antenna performance there, and you know that this is supporting in it will help in your beamforming applications there, radar applications. So this is one add-on toolbox with your antenna system toolbox. And then coming to the receiver side design, reception side design there. So we have talked about the channel modeling support. We have talked about the antenna support system. We have talked about the add-on for the antenna, that is your phased array system there. Then there is a modulation support for modulation and demodulation, both support in terms of analog as well as digital modulation. And then as we are talking about the receiver reception at the receiver side, so definitely there is an ISI present there, and you have the noise, you have the interference there. So the receiver kind of receiver supported in MATLAB would help you to overcome your ISI in terms of your equalization, or it could be using a filter like in a raised cosine filter there. So most of the applications uses a raised cosine filter, or some are using an FIR filter as an equalization filter also. So wireless receivers must be designed to perform a range of information recovery operations to decode standard base signals. So these examples illustrate several aspects of receiver design for 5G, LTE, and WLAN system. So you have for these standards also, and you can design your own receiver system also. So some of the examples are like 5G. 5G radio is called as a new radio, that is 5G NR synchronization procedures, LTE UE detection using downlink signals, 802.11 AX WLAN signal recovery. So these are all the demos that are freely available. One can just go and check the contents, run the program, and see for different values there. So occasionally, other than these important toolboxes, which forms the foundations of the communication system design there, you may also look for that is your symbolic math toolbox. You require in order to do some part of the programming there, wherein you need to define your symbols there. And you might be carrying out some optimization for your parameters there. So you require an optimization toolbox, and you also have availability of global optimization toolbox. So these are some of the other tools. They definitely don't come under the communication system toolbox, but definitely the presence of them will help you design your communication system there. So last but not the least, you can also use your parallel computing toolbox. Most preferably, this will come handy when you are going for your machine learning, wherein you have large data sets there, large data available, more samples, more rows there, and you want to just distribute that over the different cores there. So those who are, as we have our campus license, annual campus license, and we have unlimited support for unlimited toolbox, and it supports unlimited users for us at least. Okay, so in that case, one should go for parallel computing toolbox so that it helps you to have your simulations done in a faster way. So now coming to the more specific communication systems, like in a WLAN system toolbox, what we discussed previously about the modulation, demodulation, or of the antenna toolbox, phased array system, channel modeling, all those things there, those are very general. Anyone who likes to work can use them. But if you are very specific about working on Wi-Fi system there, WLAN system, so MATLAB supports a complete set of commands, complete set of tools under the WLAN system toolbox there. And most of the standards or the versions of the which are IEEE compliant there. So these you will find it, which are practically used in most of the use cases there. They are all supported by MATLAB, like in IEEE 802.11 A, B, G, N, AC, J, P, AH, and AD there. Okay, so you can take design on the transmitter side, use the receiver side, the channel models, be it a open type or a customizable MATLAB code. You can generate a C code, and I also told you that it can be also transported to your hardware also. And then you have a complete, again, a separate individual toolbox supporting the LTE concepts there. If you want to work with, play with LTE waveforms, generating LTE compliant waveforms, or doing some research into the LTE system, then it supports all the standard industry standard transmitter receiver parts there. So like in, it is supporting LTE and LTE advanced, which is release 8 through release 12. So as of now, we are using 2020 B there. So almost 2020 A has been there. So but 2020 B, let us take that as the latest one there. So it will support, MATLAB will support you to design in terms of FDD, TDD, uplink, downlink, and all. There are 200 functions for physical layer modeling, LTE signal generation, and then checking for, I think ACLR is like checking for your channel interference there. Okay, adjacent channel interference rating there, and EVM measurements. All these you can check. All these things are possible with the LTE system toolbox. Now, coming to the newest, what is our main thing that we are talking about is the 5G and the 6G, that being the title of the FDP there. So MATLAB has a full support for 5G toolbox there. Earlier it was supported as an add-on for the LTE there. With the latest version there, they are supporting 5G as a complete new toolbox there. Okay, so why there is a delay in 5G rollout, or why 5G is not coming more of as a commercial application in terms of the telecommunication side is that more people are going for 5G in terms of support for IoT there. Okay, so that is the main intention why 5G is getting delayed there. Mostly it's a talk there that 5G may not be the one for the commercial usage in terms of our telecommunication system, that we may continue with the 4G LTE or the advanced LTE, but 5G definitely has its space. It has made its space for the IoT communication there. Okay, so more of the 5G is explored onto the IoT side, and there is a 5G is a kind of a heterogeneous network which integrates both LTE concepts as well as the WLAN there. So it has we call it as femto cells. It supports that one, and hence I can use 5G both as a WLAN and as a LTE. So there is a lot of distractions. There is a lot of disruption that is happening onto the communication side there. You may in future, you may not have a separate Wi-Fi or a cellular network, depending upon where you are localized. You are onto a travel onto a road, or you are in a room there. Your cellular network may integrate any of these things and act accordingly there. Okay, so there are we really must be ready for this disruption, and as even the previous speaker spoke about, there are so many changes there. Okay, so this possible only when we keep a sharp eye on it. So that's what I told you. There is a lot of concepts in 5G to explore, like in massive MIMO, wave bands are there. Okay, so newest modulation technologies, that is advanced OFDM or index modulations, are supported there. So you can try your hands with all of this. So this is one slide which tells you that what kind of skills or what are the different knowledge base that you require in order to be developing or doing some work in terms of 5G contributions there. So it requires an ample knowledge about your antenna design, RF design, mixed signal hardware, digital hardware, DSP algorithms, software development, and system architecture. So it's always a better thing that instead of jumping to the conclusion and going with whatever is the new thing that is available in the market there, it's always better to make ourselves be very good at the foundations there. So once we are good at our foundations, that then learning with the higher variants that comes into the market there will be really easier for us. So coming on to the example side, that is using the 5G there. So you have many examples available there, like in 5G NR, exploring this particular control frame there, PDSEH, downlink throughput simulation, 5G NR, PUSEH frame, uplink throughput simulation, transmission over 5G MIMO channel model. So all these are available. You can check out onto your MATLAB version there. So coming on to LTE, WLAN, and Bluetooth, some of the examples, you have again 802.11ax packet error rate simulation. That's what I told you, that this is how the performance metrics in a communication system you judge is in terms of your bit error rate, constellation diagram. These are the things you check there. So there is narrowband IoT downlink block error rate simulation, LTE throughput conformance test there, 802.11ax physics focus system level simulation, and then you have statistical modeling of WLAN interference on BLE network there. So one thing overall, what the takeaway point would be for all the people today would be, all people here would be just whatever you are designing there, it's that you are definitely going to use these performance metrics. Either you will be bringing into a new channel coding algorithm there, and then you want to test whether the bit error rate has reduced in particular with the previous algorithms that exist there, or you have improved upon, right? And then there may be some new kind of noise or the interference that you want to take into account into the system there, and check that with your constellation diagram, and that will tell you the spread of your symbol from its actual or the original position there. Okay, so this is what will be the takeaway point there. So anything you do into the communication side there, you will be definitely playing around, checking with your bit error rate, checking with your eye diagrams, checking with your constellation diagrams, and exploring the spectrum of the received signal there. So these are other some of the examples for the 5G waveforms over 3 GPP wave channel there. Okay, and because the modulation schemes supported by 5G are numerous, and they are very much configurable, like in terms of fixed OFDM, wideband OFDM, cyclic prefix OFDM, and then it supports variable subcarrier spacing there, and number of resource blocks it supports is 100, and then you have wave channel model at the frequency range of 28 gigahertz there. So these are some of the things that you always like to plot related to any of the communication systems. So these are another examples, like in, as I told you that 5G in the previous versions of the MATLAB was offered as an add-on there, but right now it is a complete toolbox in itself there. So these are other examples, like in you want to check with the interference mitigation system using massive MIMO system there. You just have to configure at the abstract level. See that if you are going for a Simulink model there, it almost looks like the same there. It almost looks like whatever the visualization you have in terms of a communication system there. So Simulink will just bring out the same abstract level. You are just going to a model design there. So you have many other examples there. You can all check these examples. These are freely available into the MATLAB there. And then you all know that there is also a diversion towards not only WLAN. WLAN has experimented, or WLAN is being used for even for the vehicular communications there. You have new versions of WLAN standards which are supporting vehicular communications there. So even MATLAB supports this. Okay, so in terms of vehicle to vehicle, you want to check vehicle to infrastructure, vehicle to pedestrian, vehicle to a network there. But just remember that you are just going to stick on towards the physical layer design and on to the most probably to the data link design there. Okay, so protocol development, people who are I think more people might be onto the protocol development side there. So they need to explore with other softwares there. So you can also go for some of the proprietary transceiver designs, like in dedicated short range communications for the vehicular communication, and use them. There are many proprietary softwares also supported, proprietary communication system designs also supported by MATLAB there. And so that's what design and prototype a wide range of wireless systems with communication system toolbox, like in DVB, S2 link, including LDPC coding, defense communication system. You are going for a transceiver, a standard transceiver, that is MIL STD 188.110B. I have a program. I'll be sharing few of the programs with you now, and some which we cannot deal with now, as it is already the time is going on there. I shall share some of the programs with you. So I have a demo for this also. Then we have EVM measurements for the ZigBee system there. Then automatic metering reading, that earlier in the morning session we were talking about this being the first kind of usage of the wireless connectivity there. Then airplane tracking using ADB-B signals with Raspberry Pi and RTL SDR. Hope I am audible? Yeah? Everything fine? Can anyone respond?
Yes, madam, everything is good.
Sure. So now coming to the MATLAB's hardware support for the communication system design, there are many, like you have the Arduino and all, you can use Raspberry Pi, all those things, but particularly for the communication system, that is in terms of SDR there, software-defined radio there. So MATLAB supports industry standard SDRs there. Okay, so you have a full range of simulation possible there. You can model and simulate the digital part, the RF part, and the antenna behavior. Rapidly explore and optimize the algorithm designs. Prototype and test design with the SDR hardware. Everything possible. Implement hardware and software with automatic HDL and C code generation, and also verify continuously with the model as reference using your design in the loop there. And this is one such scenario I have shown you there, how end-to-end development with the MATLAB is possible using your SDR radio there. So this is the flow: algorithm design, simulation model, SDR testing with live signal IO, generate HDL code implementation model, and then verify the SDR hardware there. So you have the full design flow support by the MATLAB there. I think LabVIEW also supports the SDR, but I'm not very sure there. So these are the industry standard SDR radios supported by MATLAB: Zing based, FPGA based, USRP based, and analog devices, ADLMA, Pluto radio there, and RTL SDR radio there. Okay, so we have few examples lined up there, but one needs a SDR transceiver there in order to check for its application there. So this is how an USRP SDR looks like. Okay. So this is what is the full-fledged development that is possible with the MATLAB simulation software itself there. Okay. So in terms of the phases, this has been shown there, how one can develop a complete communication system and simulate and see its performance there. So we come to the end of our presentation, and just I'll show you a small video. You have a lot of webinars and videos available for communication system design there. You can explore them by yourselves, and I'll just show you a 2-minute video.
Communications Toolbox provides algorithms and apps for the analysis, design.
Visible?
No, madam, no.
No? Okay. But I think the sound is not there. 1 minute.
Communications Toolbox provides algorithms and apps for the analysis, design, end-to-end simulation, and verification of communication systems. You can generate waveforms and perform link-level simulations compliant with wireless standards, including ZigBee, NFC, DVB-S2 satellite communications, television and FM broadcasting, military communications, and wideband CDMA. With the Wireless Waveform Generator app, you can generate, impair, visualize, analyze, and export modulated waveforms. Use constellation and eye diagrams and the spectrum analyzer to visualize channel characteristics and obtain performance measurements such as EVM, ACLR, MER, occupied bandwidth, and signal jitter. Simulate channel noise and fading effects with Toolbox's AWGN, Rayleigh and Rician multipath fading, MIMO, and Winner2 spatial channel models. Model effects of RF impairments, including nonlinearity, phase noise, IQ imbalance, thermal noise, and phase and frequency offset. Compensate for RF impairments. Synchronize and design better receivers by using Toolbox's algorithms, including AGC, IQ imbalance correction, DC blocking, and timing and carrier synchronization. Accelerate your simulations with GPU-enabled functions optimized for computationally intensive algorithms MATLAB to C code generation with MATLAB Coder, and parallel processing with Parallel Computing Toolbox. Go beyond simulation. Connect your waveforms to a variety of RF instruments and supported software-defined radios, including the Pluto, RTL-SDR, USRP, and Xilinx Zinc-based radios for applications including spectrum sensing, automatic meter reading, FM broadcasting with RBDS, and airplane tracking with ADS-B signals. For more information, please return to the product page. Communication.
Yeah, that was a short video. Okay, so there are so many there. Okay, in each categories. Okay, so whenever you find time, you can just go through them. Okay, and make changes instead of directly starting with your own code at the first level, initial levels there. Okay, so hope you have all of you received some of the programs. Can some participants just converse with me? Have you received some of the programs? Any participant? Can you just talk? Participants, are you there? Anyone? Did you all, anyone received the programs? Few programs?
Please speak out so that Archana madam, we didn't give them access to speak out.
No, Chalapati Rao sir said that he sent to their mails.
Yeah, we have responses in the chat box.
You can unmute and talk, one of you. So I'll just show you.
Archana, they have received.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So I was saying that simultaneously they can execute and see if their MATLAB is on there. It's your wish. Definitely they are with you. You can check anytime there. So I have a very simple program in terms of amplitude modulation, which is at a very basic level. I'm just running this one. This is in terms of MATLAB program, MATLAB script there. You can make it as live script also, but right now I have not put it as a live script. That would be more better to see your outputs at the same time and make some changes there. Okay. So I have run this AM modulation program, and here it is showing your AM modulation with the different modulation index, and with modulation index for your OR modulation, critical modulation, and correct modulation there. So also we have the spectrum of the modulated signal. I think here it is a 20 hertz carrier that is being used, and just 1 hertz as your carrier there. Okay, so you have an ideal modulated signal, and then you have just the carrier spectrum there. So as I told you that these are the initial things there. Okay, like checking the spectrum, okay, modulating using analog modulation techniques or the digital modulation techniques, and checking the received spectrum and the transmitted signal spectrum and the message signal spectrum. These are at the very basic level there. Carrier signal. This is your message signal. That was the spectrum, and this is the message signal. And then I have a very, is my screen changing?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yeah. So I have one modulation scheme under digital modulation, that is our binary phase shift keying there. I'm just running this one. Anyone has problem with the any part of the coding there? We are there always. Okay, you can put your questions into the WhatsApp group, or you can mail to archana_k@vnrvjit.in. So this is what we are doing for the binary phase shift keying. That's what I told you, that this is one performance metric that I would like to see. What is the bit error rate there? Theoretically, we already say that the bit error rate of a particular digital modulation scheme we express in terms of complementary error function, and then we just want to see that whether practically also the bit error rate is going to fall in the same way as that of what we are claiming into the theory there. So we have used the bit error rate equation for the theoretically for the BPSK signal that is there in your program. You can check out. And what is the received bit error rate practically there. So you can see that both lines are completely coinciding, and this might be for a very small data rate. This might be good there, because here we have not introduced any channel and all those things there. Okay, transmitted using BPSK modulator, received using BPSK demodulator. We have not used any channel. We have not introduced any noise or interference, nothing of that kind. So definitely will have almost 0 bit error rate there. And then coming to the other programs I have taken QPSK as the basic modulation technique. That is our quadrature phase shift keying, because most of the standard communication system designs, if you take OFDM, be it OFDM or your wideband modulation, or you take your cellular networks, 4G, 5G, any of them, basically the basic modulation scheme would be QPSK, preferably QPSK or QAM. That is your quadrature amplitude modulation there. So I have taken QPSK as the base modulator there, and I'm just running a very basic QPSK modulator Simulink model. This is a Simulink model there. Okay, so we will also explore this using the program also. So the best part with Simulink is that it definitely falls in the same visual spectrum as that how we imagine a particular communication system there. But definitely one should be an expert in setting up the properties of each of these blocks there, until unless it's not going to run there. But it's better that instead of going for the programming part, using the MATLAB command-based version, you all start practicing at the earlier stages itself using the Simulink model there. So now what we have done is that we have used a digital baseband digital signal there, and we have converted them into the integer value so that we can map it to the QPSK, because QPSK has 4 symbols there. Okay, and then here you are using a square root raised cosine filter there, so that we can avoid to some extent the ISI there. Okay, so that's what I want to see, that how much of my signal has been corrupted, how much of ISI is present in my signal, that we are going to weave it through the discrete time eye diagram scope, which is available directly for you. Okay, and then you can also check for how much of the noise has been added. Okay, so that your symbol placement has changed from what it has to be originally. You can use a constellation diagram, and you can also check the spectrum. So for any communication engineer, these will be the basic tools there that you will be using to check your performance, as I have been telling throughout my talk there. So I think just now when you saw the video there, he mentioned some of the problems that happens in a communication system. Other than having an AWGN channel, rising channel, and all those things, you can also check, introduce some phase error there, because you know that how crucial it is to maintain your phase properly there. Okay, so phase noise might be a problem, IQ imbalance might be a problem, DC interference might be there. So these are some of the challenges that every communication engineer has to face there, and more of these deliberately you include in your simulation, your experiments go more towards a practical achievement there. So please, if you have checked that video and heard it very clearly, then he has talked about what are the errors that you can deliberately introduce in a communication system, and which are very much practically found in all the systems there. Most of them are taken care of, but it always depends upon what are the challenges you have put in terms of the bandwidth, in terms of the power ratings there. Okay, so how much is that you are putting all these things together there. So I'll run this one. So you can see that this is the spectrum of the QPSK. Okay. It's like you have the center frequency and then you have your bandwidth. We need to check what are the frequencies of the carrier and the message signal that are being used there. And the other thing that is my this one visible outputs, eye diagram and spectrum analyzer outputs. No, I guess. Can you all see eye diagram and spectrum analyzer output? Ramya ma'am? Anyone out there?
Message, no ma'am, no.
Now ma'am, now eye diagrams?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see that this is the in phase and quadrature components, eye diagrams there. Okay. So based on how the reception is, how much of the ISI is controlled there, you will see that more of the wider opening there. Okay. So you can check what eye diagram stands for. Okay. What are the different parameters it satisfies or it shows there. Okay. Whatever like what is the noise margin, the most of the eye wide opening will tell you that there is less of interference there. Okay, so the timings, the sample timings, everything can be checked through the eye diagrams. And I think you are not able to see the spectrum. So this is the spectrum. This is the spectrum of the QPSK signal. And if you introduce interference, you can see the interference spikes also are present there. And the other thing I want to show is the constellation diagram. So you can see that this is the whatever is the yellow color, that is the received signals constellation diagram, whereas this red color ones, they are the original ones. I mean they are the ideal ones that you should have there. Now because of noise or some other aspects there, you could see that the symbol have moved farther away there. So there are more chances of interference there. So there are many other programs. Ma'am, shall I stop or can I run few more?
You can go with one example, madam, if you're comfortable.
One more, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take with AWGN. So you can take QPSK. This is not a Simulink model, but yeah, better to go for Simulink model with AWGN. Same program I have in terms of this also, MATLAB code. So now you can see that this is a model. This is a model for again QPSK system only, but earlier we didn't take into account any channel there. We directly connected the transmitter and receiver, but definitely to bring into more realistic situation, we have added an AWGN channel there, and there is also a phase and frequency offset provided there. Again, we'll check the outputs in terms of the constellation diagrams there. And here also there is a bit error rate calculation there. So I'm running this. So it's to an infinite time, so we can check out at any time there. So I will show you the constellation diagram. So this is before your phase and frequency offset there. Okay. So now once I do the correction there, so this is what you are getting. This is what you are getting. And bit error rate, I think directly you can leave this output itself. So here you have your using the delay concept, like in the transmitted symbols and the received symbol delay, how much it is. They are using that calculation for the error rate calculation, and it is clearly showing that first one will show you the number of that is the error rate there. Okay, what is the rate? How many number of bits are corrected there? So this is a pure number. How many bits are actually corrected there? But this is an error rate there. Whereas this last value will tell you the total number of symbols that have been transmitted there. Okay, So this first one is the bit error rate there. Okay, transmitted to the received symbols there. Second one is 0. First one is 0 there, and you have this is the total number of transmitted symbols there. So constellation diagram, spectrum, the bit error rate calculations there, and the eye diagrams there. This is how you can check your outputs there. So there are many other examples. I shall share if I find some different things are incorporated there. But as of today, I think we'll stop now. Thank you. Thank you for the organizers and Dr. Y. Padmasai ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot. Ramya ma'am, Josna ma'am?
Yeah, madam.
I am done. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you for your insight.
Any questions from audience? Okay, even though it is a hectic program, so we want to cover as much as possible. Because of that one, we kept many sessions. Okay, so I request all the participants, it is not possible during this time to practice. Okay, I request all of you, please, after whenever you are finding time, you try to explore all these things. If you have any doubt, you can reach us at any time. Okay, so thank you for your patience from morning to evening. Ramya, you want to add anything to just Archana?
Yes, madam. Thanks a lot, Archana madam. That was a wonderful session, that too on hands-on, which gave us a lot of knowledge.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Archana madam,
Sir, Kalyan sir.
you had given a nice presentation, madam. And whatever the challenges we are facing currently right now, and as well as whatever the challenge we need to face in future, like in terms of bandwidth or power rating issues, is very nice, madam. And also you explained the concepts with the relevant proofs like eye diagram visuals or received signal constellation diagrams and the channel modeling, bit error rate calculations. With the real-time proofs, you conveyed your speech, madam. So it seems to be so nice, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I request all the participants to come back tomorrow for the session, and thanks a lot for your support for the whole day, and